Hi friends, it's Elizabeth Stone. Today we are going to make a cilantro lime seared tuna steak. It's really easy and I'm excited to share it with you. Okay, so first thing you want to do is get a couple of tuna steaks. Look how beautiful these are. You always want them nice and pink. And before you do anything to your tuna steaks, now I like to work with my tuna steaks frozen because I like to get a nice sear on the outside, but still be pretty rare on the inside. If you're someone who likes your tuna more cooked, go ahead and let them thaw out completely before you cook them. So I'm gonna just dry them off. And I've got a cast iron skillet here. You can see it smoking already. I've had it on for about 10 minutes. Whenever you're working with cast iron, you always want to get the skillet hot before you work with it. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes on high to get your skillet completely ready. So I'm just going to put a little bit of salt and pepper on these tuna steaks. And I'm going to flip them over and do a little on the other side. And then one of the things I love to do with tuna and with fish is I have some sesame oil. So I'm gonna just rub the sesame oil on both sides of it. And it rubs all that salt and pepper in. And then we're gonna put just a touch in the skillet. Now in this type of situation, you know I love my olive oil, but the olive oil cannot stand up to this level of heat. So you're gonna always wanna use a high heat oil, which would be sesame oil or several other kind of oils. Look at it smoking, it's really nice and hot. I'm gonna give it just a little more oil. Oops, that's not the oil. Here it is, a little more oil. There we go. And now we're gonna go ahead and put these fillets right in there. And while they're cooking, oh yeah. While they are cooking, we're gonna make the glaze that goes on them. All right, so we've got our fish there. And now I'm gonna start to make, this is a cilantro lime glaze that we're gonna put on here. So I've got 2 tablespoons of soy sauce that we're gonna put in. I've got 2 tablespoons of honey that I'm gonna put in here. And now in this case, I am going to use some olive oil. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of olive oil to mix into this. And then we're going to squeeze the juice of 1 lime. I'm going to put a whole lime in here. And what I like to do is just use a fork. You can buy lime juice already squeezed if you want to, but this recipe only calls for 1 lime, so I think you can. Most people can squeeze 1 lime. And by putting a fork in there, it helps make the juice come out a little bit better. And then I've got about 1.5 tablespoons or 2 tablespoons of cilantro. And then this is my favorite seasoning sauce to use. I'm gonna put just a nice squirt of sriracha in there. And then we're going to stir that up. And we've made a nice little glaze to go on that tuna. And now I'm going to see how this tuna is doing. You can start to see as it's cooking, you can see it cooking up onto the side. And look, we've got a nice beautiful sear on there. So I'm going to go ahead and flip these over. And again, if you like your tuna more cooked, then you're going to want to let it thaw out a little bit more. But I like it seared on the outside and fairly raw on the inside. We're gonna let that cook another minute or so. It takes about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes on each side. Get a nice brown sear on there. And then I'm gonna top it with the glaze. But while I'm letting that tuna finish, I'm gonna make a little sauce to go with it. So this is a cilantro lime crema. Basically, it's sour cream, about 1 cup of sour cream. And again, we're going to use the juice of 1 lime. So I'm going to go ahead and put 1 lime, the lime juice in here into the crema. And while you're watching your tuna, you can see how it's cooking on the edges. and on the bottom, and I like it to come up about a 1/2 inch on either side, on the top and the bottom, and then you've got a nice good sear on it. And then I'm going to put some fresh cilantro in here, a little touch of salt, and then we're going to stir this up. And so we have a nice cilantro lime crema to go on with the fish when it's finished. Look, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now let's check our tuna, see if it's nice and seared on the underside. Yes, beautiful. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to turn the heat down just a little, and we're going to go ahead and put this glaze that we made right on top of it. You're going to get a lot of smoke, because that pan is very, very hot. Just pour all of that in. And I'm going to flip it over so it all gets covered in that sauce. Oh yeah. Okay, now we're going to turn this off. And I'm going to put the beautiful tuna on the plate. And we're going to take some of this sauce and drizzle a little bit of this glaze on top of it. Now you notice the glaze wasn't on there very long, because if you leave it in there too long, it will burn. And then I'm going to serve it with this beautiful cilantro lime crema right on the side. Wow, doesn't that look yummy? All right, now we have to taste it and see how I did. I'm going to use this big knife so you can see. So the tuna is still very rare on the inside, which is exactly how I like it, but it's nice and soft. A little bit of cream on there. Okay. That's really good. You will love this. Very easy, very simple. And the crema just rounds out the whole flavor. Friends, making cooking easy for you. Remember, always enjoy the experience. Most of all, have fun. See you next time. Cheers.